Are you here to discuss your orders? We're spies. I'm promoting you to apprentice rank. Yes, congratulations. Just get on with it. In the rest of the Vivek city named Siltstrike, the Morag, it's a gift. How do you know when you've been given a task too tough for you? The Imperial Legion has several. If you're looking for a safe, the Imperial Cult, House Hlal, lay servants, groups favoring Imperial, House Redoran is House Telvanni, Moonmoth Fort is the Fighters Guild. You're worried? I don't. The Kamonatong is more. These Blades agents offer training. I also know of a warrior Aquilin agent Dor, Elone the Nightblade Gildan, Scout Indra Uvalan lives in Warrior Rithlin, Master at Arms, Mage Suran, Healer Tiermelin lives 2 houses south downstairs.
Have you found the murderer of Roland Hlalo? Yes, you clearly deserve the rank of House Caster. Congratulations. I cannot advance you further. You must find a sponsor among the Hlalu counselors. Since you are a foreign, you should consult the recent edition of the Yellow Book of Great House Hlalu. It lists the one you should speak with is Crassius Curio. His manor is in the Hlalu
What do you think
Plaza
of Balmora,
Vivek.
Outlander?
Of the Hlalu counselors, he is one. As I said, Crassius Curio is the most open-minded of the Hlalu counselors.
Hello.
Do you need something?
Do you
Go
want
ahead.
something?
All right, ask your question.
First the vision. Then
Speak quickly.
vision. This is unsettling.
I will. You again. Dagoth-Ur is the evil, immortal enemy of the Tribunal Temple cult. Hulia, the Argonian. Unwelcome it is. I welcome you as the friend of my friend, but I wish to go to my friend's bookstore, and these troublesome fools are in my way. The sight of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs. It would tarnish my Morag Tong honor to slay them, and I don't want to trouble my friend Saralis Golmis by fighting in his club. Am I talking to you, Fetcher? No. I am talking to the filthy lizard. So blah, blah, blah. He can stay here forever for all I care. Not my problem. All right. Who gives a damn about a filthy lizard anyway? Get it? Look, just keep them lizards away from me, and everything will be just fine. Fine. It's just a filthy lizard anyway. I don't care. They leave me alone. I leave them alone. With that outfit, you must be doing well for yourself.
Are we ready to travel together to
Where's that
Jobash?
slave?
The sight of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs.
Good day. I'm Rare. Hey, look. They're stupid. They stink. What do you expect? Nobody likes them. But they're not worth worrying about.
Are we ready to travel together to Jobash? Will you travel together with me to Jobasha's rare books? We leave the door to the foreign quarter wasteworks, turn right, west, continue down the hall, and thank you. I will follow you to Jobasha's.
May you find all that.
Speak, traveler.
Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction. Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevarine cult so you can report back to Caius. And I don't know of any Sixth House cult, but I can tell you what I do know. To understand the Nerevarine cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the false incarnate, for the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dunmer. I gave you a summary for Caius. Feel free to read it, of course. In the First Era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dunmer clans were much alike. But after the First Council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. The Ashlanders hate the House Dunmer, who have become soft and who have abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the gods of the Tribunal. In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend among the Wastes tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail. When the Ashlanders joined Nerevar in the Battle of Red Mountain, he swore on his great ring, one clan under moon and star, to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land.
But after the victory, Ashlanders say the power-hungry tribunal slew Nerevar in secret. Then, setting themselves up as gods, the tribunal and the great houses forgot Nerevar's promises to the tribes. In modern times, Morrowind is ruled by 5 great houses: House Hlalu, House Redoran, House Telvanni, House Indoril, and House Drez. The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics unless prevented by imperial law. But since I'm sorry, I don't know why you tell me this. I've never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the 6th house, but in the War of the First Council, they betrayed the other great houses and were destroyed for their treason. But I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith, but I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. I am only a low-ranking member, but pauper and commoner do not suffer from war here as they do in the West, thanks to the honored traditions of House War. At Jobasha's Rare Books is a bookshop with a wide selection. Jobasha is a friend of mine, a Khajiit. I am in the service of the Morag Tong. My friend, Jobasha, that perhaps someday, yes, for their hatred saddens and angers me. I hate the custom of despising another.
Watch yourself. We'll have no trouble here.
The cantatas of Vivec are gospels written in the form of epic songs. They trace the evolution of Vivec from a foolish mortal into an enlightened divine. Vivec sought out experiences that tested him in every way possible, particularly in the defense and protection of his Dunmer people, and through his long life, his humility, and his unconquerable spirit, he attained the wisdom of the 7 graces. The cantatas relate many stories of Vivec's experiments with
There's always trouble between Outlanders, non-Dunmer imperial colonists, and the Dunmer natives. Often it just appears to be common theft and crime, but racial and cultural hatreds often lie behind the violence. St. Delin Canton and St. Olms Canton are residence cantons for commoners and paupers. The temple charges very reasonable rents for comfortable workshops, shops, and apartments, and most of Vvardenfell's crafts and life. This is the sacred city of Vivec. Count your blessings. Can I help you find someone in particular, or are you just looking around? Yes, sir. Don't know you. You're a pilgrim, right? This is Vivec City, pilgrim. She works here in the library.
No, I don't think so.
Probably nothing. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a 6th house cult, but I can tell you about the Nerevarine cult. Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a sixth. The temple worships Nerevar as a saint and hero, but prophecies of his reincarnation are punished as wicked heresy. The Nerevarine cult claims the Tribunal are false gods, hence the temple's persecution of the Nerevarine cult. A group called the Dissident Priests disputes temple doctrine on the Nerevarine prophecies. The prescribed book Progress of Truth describes their beliefs. Get a copy of Progress of Truth for Caius Cosades. That will tell him things he needs to know about the Nerevarine. This book lists the disputes of the dissident priests with tribunal temple doctrines. The temple has outlawed the sale or possession of the book, so it will be hard to find. We have a copy here, but I fear I'm being watched by the ordinators here. A safer plan would be to search local booksellers. Some booksellers ignore temple bans on outlawed books for profits or for principles. I do not care for temple politics, but I have read Progress of Truth, and it troubles me. I have friends, former priests, who have gone into hiding, so I am bound to come to the attention of the ordinators. I am careful, but I'm afraid. I'm no secret agent, like you or Caius. Sooner or later, I too must go into hiding. If it is not, it's an Ashlander cult. Primitive superstition, says the temple. Nerevarines say the Tribunal are false gods. I've never understood why the temple wastes so much energy on them. The faithful cannot be shaken by such attacks, and the Ashlanders are just ignorant savages. But since, as I said, the dissident priests have a book called Progress of Truth, which gives the Ashlanders have a mystical tradition of interpreting dreams and visions as the dissident priests dispute temple doctrine and are outlawed and persecuted by the temple. Ordinators arrest and imprison heretics, and the Empire cannot interfere. Progress of Truth lists their beliefs. Why does the temple persecute the dissident priests? Because attacks on the temple weaken the faith, and that means nothing to me. Perhaps you wouldn't know, but the temple soul sickness is called madness or insanity in the Empire. Caius is a dear friend. Like me, he admires the best traditions of the temple: charity for the poor, education for the ignorant, protection for the weak. He is a Westerner, but he has come to love our land and our people. But like me, he distrusts the arbitrary power of the ordinators, and like the dissident priests, he suspects the temple is hiding something. Dagoth-Ur is the evil immortal enemy of the tribunal temple cult. The temple holds Dagoth-Ur and his hosts accountable for all the evils that beset. The official religion of the Empire, the imperial cult, worships the 9 divines. The ordinators are the holy guards and soldiers of the temple. The Red Party of Redoran preserves the ancient martial traditions of our ancestors. Lord Vivek the poet is one of the 3 immortal god-kings of Morrowind, a pillar of the tribunal and the patron of art. Almalexia, Vivek, and Sotha-Sil are mortal Almalexia, Vivek, and the Tribunal Temple is the native Lord Sotha-Sil. These people are our ancient. Their armies are great, and so is their lust for fortune. Fortune is the corrupt spirit of commerce. They call them dwarves. Blessed Almalexia, the warden, is one of the 3 immortals, god-kings of Morrowind. A pillar. The spirits of our dead live on in temple. Faithful and reverent guests may make shrines or 3.
What, Outlander? Why do you disturb me? You talk too much, Outlander.
I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Adiranir. Yes, her name is Adiranir, and she is a Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? I see. Well, perhaps some other good citizen can tell me where to find her.
With that outfit, you must be doing well for yourself. That sneak? She'll be here in St. Ohms somewhere, but where? I don't...
It's not bad when you know your way around. What are you looking for in Vivek? Vivek's cantons are...
Speak dry.
Welcome to Vivek. I'm sure you have some questions. What would you like to know?
Almsivi, I'm Savisa Terran. A census and excise agent has been prowling the canton for long. Census and excise is the imperial agency that collects taxes and tariffs. You know, Duvianus Platorius is a census and excise. Did you hear they stuck that dissident priest's guy, Malur O'Main, in the Ministry of Truth? I guess the temple priests and ordinators figure they can straighten him out. The sewers, down under. The Ministry of Truth was hollowed out to provide a prison and re-education center operated by the temple ordinators for the...
Why do you approach?
Yes. As I said, I'm looking for a friend of mine. A female... Yes, her name is Adiranir, and she is a Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? What a disappointment. But thank you for your time. I was just heading back to the mainland myself anyway. And maybe I'll run into her there.
We're watching you, scout.
Good hunting.
There is no escape! This will not go unnoticed. You will be disgraced for this. I'm being attacked. Help! This will not go unnoticed. You will be disgraced for this. I can't take any more. This fight is over. There's no escape!
We're watching you, scum.
This is Vivek. We have plenty of services, plenty of faces, plenty of places. What are you looking for? What could kill two ordinators before they can draw their weapons? Slit their throats? Happened right here, Vivek. Must be a sorcerer or vampire. The Office of the Watch in the Hall of Justice is worried about sending their own ordinators after the killer.
Do you want something from me? You want me to be your sponsor in House Hlalu? I thought you'd never ask. But first, I want to see who I'm dealing with. Show Uncle Crassius what you have to offer. That's right. Don't be shy. Come on, Dumpling, don't be shy. Just do this one little favor for Uncle Crassius. Yes, I see we're going to get along just splendidly, sweetie pie. You'll go far with my support. You're now a kinsman of House Hlalu. Yes, we both belong to House Hlalu. Are you here to discuss business? Speak with Odral Helvi in Caldera. Turn your charms on him, sweetie, and talk about business. If you feel his request is questionable, speak with me for further directions. Keep Uncle Crassius well informed, and I'll reward you.
Yornibrit's Last Dance. Women's Verse 1. Every winter season, except for the reason of one war or another. Really quite a bother. The Queen of Rimmon and her consort request their vassals come and cavort on each and every ball. The first man at the hall is Lord Ogin Yornibret of Gaer, the curse of all the maidens fair. Women's Refrain. Oh, dear ladies, beware. Dearest, dearest ladies, take care. Though he's a very handsome man, if you dare to take his handsome hand, the nasty little spell will be cast, and your first dance with him will be the last. Men's Verse 1. At this social event, everyone who went knew the bows and stances, and steps to all the dances. The Queen of Rimmon and her consort would order a trumpet's wild report, and there could be no indecision. As he revellers took position, the first dance only ladies, separate, away from such men as Lord Jornibret. Men's Refrain. Oh dear, brothers, explain. Brothers, can you help make it plain? The man's been doing this for years, leaving maidens fair in tears, before the final tune's been blast, and her first dance with him will be the last. Women's Verse 2. Lord Ogin Yornibret of Gaer watched the ladies dance on air, the loveliest in the realm, a fellow in a ursine hide helm, said, the Queen of Rimmon and her consort have put together quite a sport. Which lady fair do you prefer?
Do you need something?
Lord Yornibret pointed, her. See that bosom bob and weave, well suited for me to love and leave. Women's Refrain. Men's Verse 2. The man in the mask of a bear had left the Lord of Gaer. Before the ladies' dance was ending, then a trumpet sounded, portending that the Queen of Rimmon and her consort called for the men to come to court. Disdainful, passing over all the rest, Ogin approached she of bobbing breast. She was rejected, saved a life of woe.
What's your
for a
rank?
new maiden as fair as snow. Men's Refrain. Women's Verse 3.
Good to see you.
At
You
the
have a
first
question?
note of the band, the beauty took Ogin's hand. She complimented his stately carriage, dancing to the tune about the marriage of the Queen of Rimmon and her consort. It is very difficult indeed to comport, with grace neither falling nor flailing, wearing ornate hide and leather mailing, dancing light as the sweetest of dreams, without a single squeak of the seams. Women's Refrain. Men's Verse 3. The rhythms rose and fell, no one dancing could excel, with masculine grace and syncopation. Lord Yornibret even drew admiration from the Queen of Rimmon and her consort, like a beauteous vessel pulling into port. He silently slid, belying the leather's weight. She whispered girlishly, the hour is late, but I've never seen such grace in hide armor. It was a pity he knew he had to harm her. Men's Refrain. Women's Verse 4. The tune beat was furious. He began to be curious. Where had the maiden been sequestered before this dance was requested? By the consort and his Queen of Rimmon. I didn't see you dance with the women. My dress was torn as I came to the dance, she said, smiling in a voice deep as a man's. My maids worked quickly to repair, while I wore a suit of hide, a helm of a bear. Women's Refrain.
Welcome to Caldera. Odral Helvi at the Governor's Hall is the town reeve of Caldera. Stlenius Vibato. Probably nothing.
I am Cunius Palelius, a principal and charter holder of the Caldera Mining Company. Odral Helvi at the Governor's Hall is the town reeve of Caldera.
Ah, greetings. What shall we talk about?
Greetings. I don't think I've seen you in Caldera before, stranger. Can I help you? Are you looking? Caldera is an imperial charter town, part of the Caldera Mining Company Charter, which grants the company rights to mine ebony from the right deposits here. The Caldera ebony mines themselves lie to the southwest.
Welcome to Caldera. We're an imperial town, through and through, obviously. So, can I help you? Odral Helvi at the Governor's Hall is the town reeve of Caldera.
I'm willing to share my insights for the right price. So good to see you.
My name's Odral Helvi. I help keep the mines running and make sure business goes smoothly. Go to the Hlalu Canton in Vivek. You should be able to get better directions there. Tanis, I need a courier to deliver a package of sealed orders. Take these sealed orders to the Hlalu Treasury in Vivek. Deliver them to Tanisi Ladri, the assistant clerk. Whatever you do, do not deliver them to the head of the Treasury, Baron Allen, or to anyone else. This is a trivial matter, and you don't have to trouble anyone but the assistant clerk. I've already given you the orders. Take them to Tanisi Ladri at the Hlalu Treasury in Vivek.
With the acclamations of the Fellows of the Imperial Society still ringing in my ears, I decided to return to Morrowind immediately. It was not without some regret that I bade farewell to the fleshpots of the Imperial City, but I knew that the wonders I had brought back from Raled Makai had only scratched the surface of the Dwemer ruins in Morrowind. Even more spectacular treasures were out there, I felt, just waiting to be found, and I was eager to be off. I also had before me the salutary example of poor Bannerman, who was still dining out on his single expedition to Black Marsh 20 years ago. That would never be me, I vowed. With my letter from the Empress in hand, this time I would have the full cooperation of the Imperial authorities. No more need to worry about attacks from superstitious locals. But where should I look next? The ruins were the obvious choice. Unlike Raled Makai, getting to the ruins would not be a problem. Also known as the Cliff City, Kemelzi lies on the mainland side of the Vvardenfell Rift, sprawling down the sheer coastal cliff. Travelers from the east coast of Vvardenfell often visit the site by boat. and it can also be reached overland from the nearby villages without undue hardship.
This is Caldera,
expedition had
and my name is
assembled in
Olumba
Saint
Grove
Denis.
Boglar. Can I help you? Are you looking for someone in particular? The Caldera Ebony Mines are southwest of the village of Caldera. There's an office, a bunkhouse, and guard tower over near the mine entrance. They work the mines by slave labor. Mara, goddess of love, is the mother goddess, patron of the bountiful earth.
Do you need something?
I'm Amelia Duronia the Imperial, Guild Guide. I provide instantaneous transport. Do you want something from me?
Hello.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Take this, friend. I think everyone should read this leaflet. It has important information on it. It has important information in it. Something must be done.
So what do you want?
Yes? I'm a warrior by trade. I know how to fight when necessary.
Watch yourself. We'll have no trouble here.
With that outfit, you must be doing well for yourself. Can I help you?
Your actions precede you, Outland. I've heard good things about you.
May you find all that you seek. Go ahead. I am listening.
I can spare a few moments, if you care to talk. This is the sacred city of Vivec. Count your blessings. Can I help you find someone in particular?
What was that?
Or are you... Sealed orders? Well, you might as well give them
What was
to me.
that?
Yes, good. Here, take these 100 drakes as a courier's fee. You already gave me the sealed orders. If you want to talk business, speak with Crassius Curio or Edrino Aretha. Her home is in the Hlalu Canton Wasteworks.
Not now, Outlander. Head on. Where is that slave?
What is this about?
This is the sacred city of Vivec. Count your blessings. Can I help you find someone in particular? Or are you just looking around?
Watch yourself. We'll have no trouble here.
Have you done any more business with Odral? Speak with Odral Helvi in Caldera. Turn your charms on.
Say your needs.
Where's that slave? Here not long ago.
There it is again.
What say you?
Go ahead, I'm listening. What? In case you didn't know, weapons and armor are less effective when they get worn out.
May I help?
Good day, Outlander. I'm Balmora's caravan.
What do you want?
Yes. I've told you what I know. I've told you what I know.
What do you want? Hulea is here. How do you like it here? Jobasha reads books, buys books, sells books. What more can Jobasha say? Jobasha knows a little about everything. So you ask, and maybe Jobasha will talk.
Excerpt concerning the points of temple doctrine challenged by the dissident priests. 1. The divinity of the tribunal. Temple doctrine claims their apotheosis was miraculously achieved through questing, virtue, knowledge, testing, and battling with evil. Temple doctrine claims their divine powers and immortality are ultimately conferred as a communal judgment by the Dhamma ancestors, including, among others, the good Daedra, the prophet Veloth, and Saint Nerevar. Dissident priests ask whether Dagoth-Ur's powers and the tribunal powers might ultimately derive from the same source, Red Mountain. Sources in the Apocrypha suggest that the tribunal relied on profanely enchanted tools to achieve godhead, and that those unholy devices were the ones originally created by the ungodly Dwemer sorcerer Kagranak to create the false construct Numidium. 2. The purity of the tribunal. The dissident priests say that the temple has always maintained a public face, represented by the hieroglypher, the priestly writings, and a hidden face, represented by the apocrypha, the hidden writings. The public account portrays the actions of the tribunal in a heroic light, while the hidden writings reveal secrets, untruths, inconsistencies, conflicting accounts, and varying interpretations which hint at darker and less heroic motives and actions of the tribunes. In particular, conflicting accounts of the battle at Red Mountain raise questions about the tribunal's conduct and about the source of their subsequent apotheosis. Also, there is good evidence that the tribunal have been concealing the true nature of the threat posed by Dagoth-Ur at Red Mountain, misleading the people about the tribunal's ability to protect Morrowind from Dagoth-Ur, and concealing a recent dramatic diminishing of the tribunal's magical powers. 3. Temple accounts of the Battle of Red Mountain. Ashlander tradition does not place the tribunal at Red Mountain and holds that the Dwemer destroyed themselves rather than that Nerevar destroyed them. Ashlander tradition further holds that Nerevar left Dagoth-Ur guarding the profane secrets of Red Mountain while Nerevar went to confer with the Grand Council, that is, the tribunal, that Nerevar died at the conference, not of his wounds, according to the Ashlanders, but from treachery, and that subsequently the tribunal confronted a defiant Dagoth-Ur within Red Mountain, then drove Dagoth-Ur beneath Red Mountain when he would not yield to their will. 4. Veneration of the Daedra, saints and ancestors. While challenging the divinity of the tribunal, the dissidents do not challenge the sainthood or heroism of the tribunal. In fact, the dissident priests advocate restoring many of the elements of fundamentalist ancestor worship as practiced by the Ashlanders and by St. Veloth. Exactly how this would work is debated inconclusively within the dissident priests. 5. Denial of the prophecies of the incarnate and persecution of the Nerevarines. Though no consensus exists among the dissidents about whether the Nerevarine prophecies are genuine, all agree that the persecution of the Nerevarines is unjust and politically motivated. The dissident priests do not reject mysticism, revelation, or prophecy as part of the religious experience. The dissidents have not resolved the issue of true or false insights. They have studied the mysticism of the Ashlander ancestor cults, in particular the rites of the Ashlander seers and wise women and the prophecies of the incarnate. Many among the dissident priests have come to believe that the Nerevarine prophecies are genuine and have made a systematic study of prophecies recorded in temple archives. 6. Authority of the Archcanon and the Ordinators. The dissident priests reject the authority of the Archcanon and the Ordinators. The temple hierarchy has been corrupted by self-interest and politics and no longer acts in the best interests of the temple or its worshippers. The dissident priests believe the Archcanon and Ordinators speak for themselves, not for the tribunal. 7. The Inquisition and the use of terror and torture by the Ordinators. Within the temple hierarchy, it is an open secret that the Ordinators rely on abduction, terror, torture, and secret imprisonment to discourage heresy and dissent. The dissident priests feel the Ordinators are either out of control or tools used to maintain a corrupt priesthood in power. 8. Fundamentals of temple doctrine. charity for the poor, education for the ignorant, protection for the weak. Though the dissident priests acknowledge that most rank-and-file priests honor the best traditions of the temple, they believe that many priests in higher ranks are interested more in love of authority and luxury than in the welfare of the poor, weak, and ignorant.